In installing our Windows Server 2012 R2, we need a single 1.4 GHz 64-bit processor core, 512 megabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes disk partition, standard Ethernet 10 over 100 Mbps or faster network connection. The server will also require access to optimal drive.
Good day everyone, my name is Rawl Anthony Mendaje, and today we are going to learn how to install Windows 2012 R2 using Oracle VM VirtualBox. So the first thing we need to do is to start up VirtualBox and click the new button in the top right corner, and this is where we name our virtual machine that we are going to create. So here we will choose whatever name we want. Now let's name it to Windows Server 2012 R2. Now we will just put it in our default folder, and after that we are going to choose our ISO file that we have downloaded earlier. So as you can see, it's already Windows, and we will choose Windows 12 64-bit for the version, and we will select the skip unattended installation to proceed to the next procedure. So after doing all that, let's go to the settings. In the general section, we're not going to do any changes. And let's proceed to the system section to set the base memory to 4 gigabytes so that it will function efficiently, and we will gonna set the processor to 6 to work efficiently as well. Now let's go to the storage section. As you can see, we will select the ISO file, and if you find the optical drives empty, you may choose your ISO file that you have downloaded. So let's proceed to the network. So as you can see, it's already been set. So let's do a double check. Let's double check everything rather, and yes, let's double check again. So now let's select normal start by using right click, normal start. It will take some time. So now it's now finished loading. Let's press any key, and after this we're going to choose what language to install. Here we click next, click install now, and right here we're going to choose R2 standard evaluation server with a GUI or GUI. You can use the data center evaluation if you want, but we will choose standard evaluation for this one. Hit next, accept license and terms. Now we're going to install Windows only, and after that we choose which drive to install. So the partition 1 drive does not allow us to click next, and as you can see, if we choose the partition 2, we can click the next, click next, and as you can see, it's installing our Windows server. It will take some time until it's finished loading. As you can see, it's now finishing up, and it will restart by itself. So after restarting, again, let's press any key, press enter on this one, and let's just wait until the loading is done. It's getting ready now. And now we're going to set a password for our Windows server. So on this one, we will make our password longer. And after that, we click finish. After doing that, we're going to input our password again to log in. And now we are here in our desktop finally. Just gonna click yes on this one. And minimize the VirtualBox, the other one. Now on the server manager, let's go to the local server. As you can see, the computer's name have not been set yet. Now we're going to access VirtualBox tools. Let's go to the devices and we're going to choose insert guest additions CD image. Then after that, we're going to the folder manager. As you can see, it says the CD drive VirtualBox guest additions. Click that. There we're going to choose VirtualBox Windows Editions AMD 64-bit. Click next, hit next, and hit install. Just wait, it will. In here, make sure that you always check the Always Trust software from Oracle Corporation. Just click install. And now we choose to manually reboot it later. Click finish, and we're done. Let's close this one, and let's refresh our desktop. And now let's go back to the server manager. So if you want to know how to change your computer name, use right click on the computer name, click change, and let's change it to W server 2012 R2. Then click OK. So as you can see and notice that you must restart your computer to apply these changes. And now we're going to restart it now. So after the restart, we will input our password again. And if we go back to the server manager, local server, you can see that the computer name has changed. And that's it. I hope that you'll learn many things on how to install Windows 2012 R2 using Oracle VM VirtualBox. Thank you and have a good day.
Continue to network configuration, which we would configure the Windows server. So The first thing we need to do is to log in to the desired user. Moving forward, after logging in, you will always be redirected to the Service Manager. Here we have the dashboard. The next thing you need to do is go to the local server in the left side under the dashboard. Then, find the Windows Firewall and click on the Enable On option. Click Allow an app or feature through Windows Firewall. Afterwards, make sure to check or click the checkbox of the following. First is the network on service. Next is the remote desktop. Next would be the last, which is the Windows Firewall Remote Management. After selecting the aforementioned feature, click OK to exit the Allowed Apps feature. Then close the Windows Firewall window. The next step we should do is to select the Remote Desktop Disabled. System Properties windows will pop up. And all you need to do is to click or check the Allow Remote Connection to this computer and apply. So now we will now configure our networking by selecting the link beside the Ethernet. Select and right click the Ethernet and select Properties. Here we just need to deselect or uncheck the Internet Protocol IPv6 or version 6 of Internet Protocol. Now highlight and select the Internet Protocol version 4 and open its properties. Here just click use the following IP address to configure the IP address manually. Now put in the following value. Select OK, then close. Now we're going to add our DNS server by going through the dashboard and clicking Add Rules and Features. Now you just need to click Next. Then make sure to check the role-based or feature-based installation, then click Next. Then select our server and click Next. Here we just need to check the DNS server and a dialog box will pop up where we just need to select the Add feature. After adding our DNS server, you just need to click Next to the next following steps to install the DNS server. Just click Install and then after succeeding the installation, you just need to close the window. After the successful installation, now let's configure our DNS server by going through the tools, then select DNS. In this window, select the server name, select the arrow on the left side to drag down, and right click on forward lookup zone and select the new zone. Click next and select primary zone, the next. Then enter the zone name, whichever you like, then click next. Click the next button again. Select or check the allow both non-secure or secure dynamic updates, then click next. And then click finish. Now let us select the reverse lookup zones and right click and create new zone. Click next, then primary zone, the next. Make sure that you have selected the IPv4 reverse lookup zone, then click next. Then type in your IP address. And then select next, next again. Once again select the allow both and then next and finish. And then close the DNS manager. Now the next step is adding the Active Directory domain. Again, click the add roles and features. Click next. Then same installation type and same server. Now let us check or select the Active Directory domain service. Add feature and next. Then proceed to installing the Active Domain services. And after successfully installing the Active Domain Directory service, you need to close and then configure the directory domain by accessing or clicking the flag with the warning icon on the top beside the Manage button. Click Promote the server to domain controller. Click the Add New Forest. Then type in the root domain name. Here type your password and then click Next. Click Next once again. The NetBIOS domain name here is set a default. So select next, then click install. After the installation is complete, the computer will eventually restart. So we'll have to wait for it to restart, to open up and log in again. The next step is to add one final rules feature, which is the DHCP server. Next, once again, add rules and features. Next, same installation type and server. Now here we need to select or check the DHCP server and add feature. Then next, and then install. After the successful installation, you need to close the window and then just configure the DHCP server. Click once again on Tools, then select DHCP. The arrow next to our server to drop down. Then right click on the IPv4 Then select New Scope. You will be directed to the new Scope wizard, so select Next. Then type in your desired name for the server. Then click Next. Then here, enter the desired start IP address. For this demonstration, sample would be as follows. Then click Next. Click Next on this step. Then Next once again. Select Next once again. Click Next once again to the next following steps and finish.
Good day everyone, I am Anthony Ibarra Jr. and in this topic I will be discussing creating user and group. Open Active Directory and creating group. First, we're going to open the Active Directory. Inside our Active Directory, we are going to select the server. In our server, we name it server wserver2012r2.com. In the server, we're going to right click, new, and then organizational and click organizational unit. Organizational unit is a container within Active Directory domain which can hold user groups all together. And then we're going to name it deployment 1 and click OK. And then we're going to create a group inside it by right click, and then we're going to create a group inside deployment 1 by clicking right click, then go to new, and then go to group, and then we're going to enter a group name and creating two different group in which is ICT, HRMS, and accounting. Now that we already create our three groups, we're going to add users. In creating users, right click, new, and then click user. And then after that, we're going to fill out the name. It's our choice if we're going to add last name and full name. And then after that, we're going to add username. Username will be going to be default at what is the name of the users. And then after that, we're going to add password. For the password, we're going to use the default password, which is 1234, so it can be easily remembered by the administrator and also the users. And the user can also freely change its password as we set it to the default. But here below, we can also have our choices to enable the options below, like user cannot change password or password never expire and account is disabled. And then after putting everything at default, we're going to click, after putting password and put everything default, we're going to click next, and after next, then finish. Click finish. In creating groups, just repeat the same process and decide how many users you want to be created. In our scenario, we're going to create 15 new users in our server. Adding users to the group. In adding users, right click to the in adding user to the group. In adding user to the group, double click which group you want to add the users, and in this case we're going to add 5 user each in 3 groups. So in doing that, double click, and then after double clicking, click members and then click add. In adding, write the username and type the username and then check, and after that and then check. Then after typing the name, we're going to click check names in order to the system to auto fill the names, and then click OK, and then click apply, and then OK again to exit. Repeat this process through all adding users to the group until it's done, and also check if the users are in the right group that you want to be them to put. In this process, we're all just repeating the same process.
Good day everyone, this is Iren Salazar and I'll be showing you how you can do permission ownership and permission rather in Windows Server 2012 R2. So first we have already created a folder here in our desktop and we named it Windows Server 2012 R2. Now all we need to do is just right click that one and go to properties, and here in properties, here in security button, go to system and edit. I'm going to add ICTS and click check names and then click OK. After you click OK, you have to uncheck read and execute and read so that it will not read and execute and read and only list the folder contents. Click apply and going to add accounting. Click check names and then click OK. And remember to uncheck the read and execute, then the read, click apply, then add the last one which is HRMS, check names, click OK, then uncheck again this and click apply. Then we no longer have to add something, so we just click OK. Then now we close this and then go back here in our folder registers here in ICTS and go to properties, security, and click advanced and click change and just simply put ICTS and check names, then click OK. Then you're gonna leave replace owner on sub containers and objects. Uncheck and then click apply. Okay, okay. Then go to edit and add ICT. Then click OK. Okay, click OK. Then modify. Permission for ICTS would be um, to it can modify and read and list folder contents, read and execute. So just click apply and OK. Then just click again OK. So that's for ICTS. Then let's proceed to HRMS. So right click HRMS, then go to properties, security, then go to advanced, change that one, just put HRMS. Okay, then make sure to replace owner on sub-containers and subjects. Apply, click OK, and OK once again. Then here, we'll be clicking edit, go to system, and add ICT, check names, then click OK, and that's been already added, and we just click permission for ICTS. So okay, so we click modify, read and execute, read, and let's uncheck write, can only read. So apply and click OK. But let me add also HRM. Click OK and just let it modify, read and execute, read but not to write. Click apply and OK. And we're done, so just click OK. And make sure to refresh. So we go here in HRMS, right click and go to properties, and under here in security, going to go to advanced and change HRMS. Check names and click OK. Then make sure to check replace owner on sub-containers and objects and click apply and OK. Then OK once again. Then after that, go to edit and you can see here permission for HRMS. So we're going to add ICT. Click OK and it says read and execute check, then less folder contents is checked and read is checked. And let's also check modify but uncheck the right. Check modify. Okay, Just click that one, then apply. Then we're going to add HRM. Then let it modify and read and write, read and execute list folder contents, and just click apply. Then why not add accounting, or it depends on you. So we're going to add accounting. Okay, and then just check modify. Click apply, and then okay. Then click once again okay. Then go here in accounting and go to properties, and here in security I'm going to click advanced and going to change that one. I'm going to type here accounting. Oh, sorry. Check names. So we're going to type accounting, check names, and then click OK. Then make sure to replace owner on sub containers and objects, and click apply and click OK. Click OK once again. Then go to edit, system, add ICT, check names, click OK. Then let it read and write. Click apply, and then also add accounting. Check names, click OK. Then let it read and write. Any permissions for accounting, let it read and write. Then click apply and click OK. So that's it, and just click OK. So that's all for the ownership and permission here in Windows Server 2012 R2.